Welcome to the Making College Affordable podcast with me, Jason Fleury, certified financial planner professional and college planning specialist. I'm about to show you the inside secrets colleges don't want you to know and help you become a more educated consumer when it comes to paying for college. I believe you should enjoy the journey of allowing your kids to pursue their dreams without having to sacrifice yours. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do. So let's get started. Hey everybody, and welcome to episode number 15 of the Making College Affordable podcast. I'm Jason Fleury, and I'm here to share with you more of the insights and game-changing experiences that I've learned over the past 20 plus years as a certified financial planner professional and a college planning specialist. I'm really glad you've decided to join me today because I have something so exciting to share with you. I'm going to be talking about FSA IDs, what they are, and why you need one. Now, first of all, you're thinking, what in the world is so exciting about FSA IDs? Well, honestly, nothing. But it's not very exciting to overpay for college either. So I know some of these topics are not the most intriguing, most riveting things to learn about. But if you're sending kids to college, there's nothing more important than learning how to beat the colleges at their own games. And that's what makes me excited to be able to share this with you, because I want you to have a fighting chance to actually live the best life possible and becoming an educated consumer so that you only pay your fair share of the college bill is certainly one way to do that. So let's jump into today's topic and see if I can help you get a little bit farther down the road. I don't know if you've ever stopped to really think about it, but we are truly living in the digital age. More than ever, we're able to do things online that used to have to be done in person. And the wheels turn a little bit slower than normal when you're dealing with the federal government on most things, but the Department of Education is on the ball when it comes to using online verification for several key areas inside their financial aid system. One of those areas is called the FSA ID, and I'm going to help you understand what it is, how you can get one, and most importantly, how to use it to get through the financial aid season more easily. So first, let's talk about what the FSA ID is. Well, it's basically your online identity or your virtual signature when it comes to the federal student aid system. After all, that's what the FSA in FSA ID stands for, Federal Student Aid. And since it's your ID, you can use it to authorize access on official matters involving a variety of financial areas, like linking your tax returns to your financial aid forms, submitting financial aid forms, and even accepting student loans. The FSA ID is the most secure way they've found so far to verify your identity and to allow you to submit things online. You have to provide some unique identifying information when you sign up for your FSA ID, like your date of birth and social security number and your address and your phone number. And you also have to provide an email address that they can send a confirmation code to when you're completing the registration process. And finally, you have to also select a series of security questions in case you need to retrieve your username or reset your password later. You can check all of this out on your own, and you can register for your FSA ID at fsaid.ed.gov. And I've created a video that you can use as a guide to setting up your FSA ID too. Either Google my name, Jason Fleury, and then the term FSA ID to find a YouTube video on it, or you can visit our website, mycollegeplanners.com/blog, and you'll find a link to the video in the blog post that I've placed there on FSA IDs. Either way, it'll help you make quick work of creating your FSA ID. Now, there are a couple of other things you need to know and be aware of with your FSA ID. The first is the email verification code that they'll send you when you're creating your ID. Most parents create one for their students and then create one for themselves, since both the student and the parent need their own FSA IDs. Now, don't gloss over that point. You both need to have one to complete several steps in the financial aid process. So set one up for each of you. But back to the email point. You can only use an email address one time when creating your FSA ID. So if you're setting one up for your student, but you're actually using your email address, you'll need another different personal email address when creating yours. And if you use your email address for theirs and then use their email address for yours, well, it can get a little complicated down the road. So choose your email accounts up front so that you don't get crossed up later. The other thing to note is that if you attempt to use your FSA ID and you enter in the wrong information too many times, the system will lock you out of your account. Now, it's not a major problem, but in order to unlock it, you'll need to have access to that email address that you used to create it, which is why it helps to have the right email address attached to the right person. Or another option is you'll need to be able to answer your security questions. Now, keep in mind that you can have the same security questions for multiple people. You just can't share email addresses with anybody else. All right, so now you know how to set up your FSA ID and how to navigate around some of the common pitfalls that people run into when creating their IDs. Now let's talk about how you'll use your FSA ID to make the financial aid process easier to manage. The first place people usually use their FSA ID is to log into FAFSA. Now, FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid, and it's the most commonly used financial aid form you'll deal with if you're going to apply for any kind of financial aid. I'll be talking more about FAFSA in upcoming episodes, but for now, just remember that this is your key to unlock that form. You can actually access it with the student's date of birth and their social security number, but you won't be able to submit anything without the FSA ID, so you might as well just use it from the start. Once you're in the FAFSA form, you'll see a place where you can download information from your tax return directly from the IRS. This IRS data retrieval tool uses your FSA ID both for the parents' returns and for the student returns to verify your identity and to give you access to their system. You'll type in your FSA ID to unlock that portion of the form and have them import your tax info directly into the appropriate places. Using that system also verifies that your tax information is correct, since the federal form you're completing will trust that the information another federal agency is sharing with them is going to be accurate. That can save you a lot of time and headache later, so use it whenever possible. The third place you'll use your FSA ID is at the end of your FAFSA. There's a place to accept their terms and conditions and to sign it before you submit the form. Your FSA ID is your signature in this spot. And if you've used it when you logged in or to download tax information from the IRS's site previously in the form, you won't have to enter it here again. But if not, the system will prompt you for it before you can submit anything on the form. Now finally, the last place you'll usually see your FSA ID come into play is with the student loan system. It's your user ID and password when you're logging into their site. And that site hosts things like the loan entrance counseling programs, the master promissory note agreements, and a lot of other federal loan-related information. If you're not planning to use student loans, well, this part won't apply to you. But if you do, it may have been a while since you've used your FSA ID when you get to this part. So jot it down someplace that's secure and that you'll remember. And also remember the email and the security questions you used up front in case you need to reset your password. The FSA ID isn't a perfect way to protect your security in every situation, but it's far better than the old system of PIN numbers that they used to use. And by understanding what I've taught you here, you'll be able to save yourself hours of wasted time and frustration and get your financial aid forms processed quicker, hopefully resulting in you getting the most money possible from the colleges on your students list. This is only the beginning. We're going to be talking about a lot more related to financial aid in the next several episodes. You may not be ready to file everything yet, but go ahead and subscribe to this podcast. Save the episodes and then go back to them later so that you don't miss anything important or make any mistakes that could cost you thousands. It won't always be easy, but with me in your corner, it shouldn't be stressful. Stay tuned and share us with your friends who are in the same boat, who are worried about college and how to make things more affordable. Not only will I show you how to make it happen, I'll also show you how you can enjoy the journey and get the best results possible. Now go get your FSA ID set up. I'll see you again soon. I hope you've enjoyed and benefited from today's show. If you like what you've heard, please give us a good rating wherever you get your podcasts and share us with your friends. Also, if you have any specific questions or comments about anything we've covered today, email those questions to podcast@mycollegeplanners.com. You can also visit our website at mycollegeplanners.com to get personalized recommendations on how to make college more affordable and learn how working with a college planning specialist can improve your life. Thanks again for listening today. I look forward to seeing you again soon.